together, we'll be alright. When we're together, I'll hold you tight. When we're together, we'll be alright. When we're together, we'll be okay. Be okay. Be okay. Be okay. Fall back to me. When we're together, we'll be alright. When we're together, I'll hold you tight. When we're together, we'll be alright. When we're together. liquor on the table, I don't mind where the night goes, your skin on mine. I see no other people, love is blind, but that's alright though. Pull me down, drown me in this thing I'm feeling, round and round. The world is turning upside down. Tell me how I could be the one you're needing, girl. Your touch is driving me wild. I want your body on there. This moment is fleeting, so don't go away. I want your body on there. This moment is magic, I want you to stay. When you're playful, give it time. I'll make you mine, girl, your hand in mine. I'll lead you far away, girl, so divine. Our lips touch, our eyes close. Pull me down, drown me in this thing I'm feeling, round and round. The world is turning upside down. Tell me how I could be the one you're needing, girl. Your touch is driving me wild. I want your body on there. This moment is fleeting, so don't go away. I want your body on there. This moment is magic, I want you to stay.
What's up, guys? How is everybody today? All right, welcome to another wonderful wizarding world of whatever it is I've called this ridiculous stream. Uh, let's I think we're just gonna jump right into it, right? Because we've got a few things to update with the SD Buildoff, um, which is rapidly approaching. So I need to kind of get something done. Um, and we also have to continue work on the RG Nu conversion. I'm also going to show you guys something new, as well as start the that build along with Manny and Kyle for the 100 Studio Stickler Woundwort resin kit. So that's a full resin kit. That's not a conversion. So we'll get to that, and then we'll also we'll touch on the topic of the Bandai Hobby Open that Tim and David Clark mentioned on Friday, and then we kind of touched upon on mechanisms. Oh, that was yesterday, yeah. That we touched on mechanisms yesterday. So yeah, for now, let's jump into the to the main camera, and then we'll get started. Cool. Okay, so first and foremost, I took a very small break from the Sinanju this week. You know, I am also very susceptible. I mean, you know, I've experienced burnout before, and this is kind of one of those weeks. You know, for those that don't know, I do also work from home, and I do you know, other stuff, you know, apart from Gunpla, and you know, it's just been burning the candles on both ends. So I kind of took a break from it, and I decided that I needed to finish one of the commissions that I have waiting in the wings. Hey Tim, what's up, dude? You like that transition, huh? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. All right. But yeah, so I went ahead and finished one of the commissions, which I did show you guys on mechanisms yesterday, which is the 1144 Jagged Mirage. I mean, I want to call it a bust, but I mean, it technically is, but it has a spine, it has all that weird stuff. It is very. I don't know how it stands because of the way it's designed, but it stands. So I guess that's something, right? And if you guys are curious to see what you know, so this is the 1/144 scale, right? If we see if we can just get it to focus a little bit right there. Yeah, so here's the 1/144 scale, and then here is the 1/100 scale. So this is the twin tower head, without all the weird pipes and other stuff. So this is just a very base head. So if you guys, let me put this over here real quick. So you guys, if you guys want to take a look at this head that I've been working on, um, it is it is very detailed. But oddly enough, the pipes that go on the side of the head here, are not uh, they're not separate. They're all one piece. Whereas the 1/144 scale, all of the pipes are separate pieces, and that was a pain in the butt to get done. So yeah. So let's catch up real quick with a few people here. So Julius Demsky, happy Saturday. Oh yes, hopefully everybody has a wonderful has had a wonderful Saturday so far. William Williams says happy weekend, everyone. Yes. How's it going, William? Julius Demsky says, sup, Tim. How are you feeling today? Crazy show last night. You looked well this morning on Gunpla Talk. I am surprised you survived that show, considering you transitioned from one straight to the other. So, okay. So, in terms of the SD, uh, the SD Sinanju, so I have a whole bunch of random parts in a container right now. Oops, press the button. Um, all a bunch of random parts that have been, some have been painted, some haven't. Oh no, actually, everything in here has been painted. So right now, this is just waiting for a panel line and decals. For the legs, I started, yesterday on mechanisms, I started to mask off pieces of the outer leg, which will be a darker blue than the regular blue, which you guys can see right there. So that'll be just a quick thing, quick done. And then for the crotch piece, that's also been masked. Oh God, I am not good at keeping things in frame. So that's also been masked, and that's gonna be a darker shade of gray, and you guys will see some detail on there. And that goes like right in the middle of the crotch. If I just bring out the Sinanju right here, which you guys have seen a million times already, it's gonna be right in there. And then yeah. So right now, this guy definitely needs like after all this, he'll need a panel line, panel wash, decals, and we'll get a gloss coat all applied and all done. So, I've got some time, right? I think it's what they said. They said throughout May, you guys can submit. So I don't know if I'll be able to get the Neo Zeong done in time, but the Sinanju I think will definitely be there. We'll get to finishing that very very soon. But for now, I think we should probably work on the RG Nu conversion a little bit, because that thing has been. I mean, I only work on that once a week. So let's get that guy out. So as a continuation from yesterday, if I zoom out a little bit here, as a continuation from last Saturday, every piece, every resin piece, has been rescribed. The panel lines have been deepened. Kind of looked at what potential issues there might be in terms of the surface. Which, I mean, there are a few. We'll definitely get to those issues very soon. And yeah, we'll work on this guy, and then we'll switch it up to something different in a little bit. As if I don't have enough work to do. Let's add one more. Like I said, who needs sleep, right? You sleep when you're permanently sleeping, or something like that. So yeah. All right, so let's catch up with the chat real quick. Tim, aka Chalamika says, feeling a bit rough charge. Only had an hour of sleep between the after party and Gunpla talk. Fell asleep at 1 p.m. and just woke up at about 7 p.m. Jesus, Tim, I don't know how you do it, man. Julius Dempsey says, ouch, I'm too old for that stuff. It doesn't matter how old you are, man. Yeah, so I've always felt that way. Let's see here. Chalamek says, Timek says, I barely survived, lol. Continues, says, never will. I'm a professional. Oh, because William says, I thought Gunpla Talk would have a Tim Watch 2020. We've had a few of those. Also, we've called him out a few times. Oh no, we called him out once. Uh, William Wellm says, we all have our fingers crossed to be watching the stream when that might happen. It's happened. It's not on stream. Tex Marquise says, someone called for a professional because I seen that. Damn. That's just hurtful, man. Like, come on, son. Tim Chalamek says, hush. Yeah. So anyway, so let's continue with surface prep with this conversion. Again, I cannot state how ridiculously simple this thing is. I've genuinely never worked on a resin kit so straightforward before, and I kind of regret doing this as the first resin on stream, just because it's deceptively simple, and it shouldn't be what the standard is for resin kits. Well, it should be the standard, but it's not. So it's kind of I guess a double-edged sword, just because it shouldn't be. I mean, in all of the resin kits I work with, and that I've worked on quite a bit. None of them have been this stupidly simple. So yeah, that's the thing. But anyway, so let's take all this apart and stuff, and then we'll get to work here. All right. So hopefully everybody is having a fantastic Saturday. It's been a really good one so far. Well, I want to say really good one. I mean, I'm still stuck at home, but I woke up not super early because for those that don't know, I work remotely since this whole thing happened, and I still kind of work throughout the week, and I actually managed to sleep in for once. For some reason, my body has decided that it doesn't want to sleep in these days, and I've been waking up ridiculously early, even before work. And yeah, so I managed to sleep in once. Had a good breakfast. Took the dogs out and enjoyed the weather a little bit, and yeah, it was a good time. And then the boba tea place opened up again here in our area, so it's been a fantastic Saturday. It's been great. So, so let me catch up with these guys a little bit here. Tim Chalamek says, "Hush, you can't silence me, man. This is mechanisms." Tex McKee says, "Sorry, got to take this call." Oh God. William Mom says, "Was it a wrong number, Tex?" Yeah, was it a wrong number? Hi Craig says, "Hey everyone, how's it going?" Hey, hi Craig. Dude, your name is just a lot of fun. Yeah, so. Back to this resin kit. Deceptively simple, very straightforward, and it should be the standard for a lot of resin kits, but isn't, because resin designers all have different styles and different complexities. What I've noticed with this Trouble Toys conversion is it is very very simple. So yeah. Now, if you don't know, actually, I do have a bit of news in terms of Trouble Toys. So, Trouble Toys were initially coming out with a Sinanju, an MG Master Grade Sinanju resin conversion. I can't remember the name of the builder that they were going to take the custom of and create molds to create the resin conversion for that Sinanju. So it was already advertised. It was already out there. But it turns out that that builder had copied Joshua Dara of Gunpla Talk. He copied his build almost like line for line, and then essentially Trouble Toys had to discontinue just I mean, just because it was straight plagiarism. So, um, so I know a couple of weeks ago we were talking about, is it okay to copy someone's work? Not when it's for profit or competition, apparently. So, yeah, don't be that guy. Definitely don't be that guy. So yeah, now I don't know if Trouble Toys. I mean, I know Trouble Toys is technically a group of people. And the guy who did this RG Nu conversion is definitely not the same guy who did the MG Sinanju conversion. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Trouble Toys are not very vocal, or not very, in terms of communication, they're not great. But from what I know, it's two different people. But yeah, not cool. Definitely not the best. Not the best way to, not your best foot moving forward, especially if you're a new uh, group or a new company that's trying to sell conversion kits. If you're copying somebody else's design and work, right, and you're trying to make money off of that, that's a bit shady. Definitely shady. And yeah, I don't recommend anybody do that. All right. So we're back to disassembling this guy again. The most not the most riveting stuff, but yeah. So today I've been haven't really been building today, truth be told. I've been like I said, spending time with my wife and dogs, and I was kind of thinking about what I wanted to do for this Bandai Hobby Open, right? Um, I mean, I'm not usually one to enter competitions often, but when I do, I want to really bring kind of the best of what I can do. Now, the problem I kind of have is a lot of my, a lot of the kits that I own because I have the conversion kits for those kits, right? So it's kind of, I'm constantly trying to look for something that I could make that isn't going to cost me having to go buy another one, so that I can create the conversion kit for that. So that's why I was having kind of trouble thinking about what I should make when Tim asked me last night if I had any ideas, and I genuinely I don't. That's why I kind of threw the Stormbringer out there, and I don't know. I don't know if I want to make the Stormbringer. Stormbringer's cool. It just doesn't have. I don't know if I have any ideas for it per se. So that's one thing. I also have a perfect grade GP01 that Frankie was flaunting about, and apparently was going to put up his backside. And I've wanted to create a detailed up version of that for a while now. So that's also an option. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I have a little bit of time to think about it and not be influenced by anybody on what to build. I do want to build something big though, and something that has presence. And yeah, I don't know yet. I'm not 100% sure. So if you guys have any ideas on what you want to see, let me know. Maybe I'll just build it not for competition. We'll get to that. Alright, let's catch up with the chat real quick. Zach Bly says, "Hey Chris, caught your stream." Hey Zach, man, finally. So Mr. Galactic Toys over there, man. I will be actually showing something that Zach was very kind to provide me, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we'll see. William Williams says, Stormbringer feels detailed enough to only need a paint job. I love mine. Do you want to do a diorama, standalone model? So if I do a diorama, right, that would mean having to weather and kind of give the kit a almost like a not necessarily weather, but real life wear and tear, right, or real wear and tear. And I just don't think that's my style. I mean, I've done weathered builds before, but it just hasn't been really. It's not been me. It's not, I want to say it's not my brand, but like it's just it just doesn't feel like something I would build, or it doesn't have my identity in it. I like my clean builds. I like my my high contrast, brightly colored, non-military mobile suits, I guess. So I mean, I would say like maybe a standalone kit, have a stand with it or something, like a nice detailed stand, and then just have it be the best clean build I can make. Um, and there are still, I feel like, things I can improve upon, and things I can do to make some to make it better, at least in terms of my personal judgment of what I do, in my opinion. um yeah, I don't know, man. I think that would be a good thing, right? Because I mean, everybody loves their weathered builds and stuff like that, but and I feel like clean builds are a different kind of discipline, and I want to represent that in this competition, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out my butt. I don't know. Okay, so wait, right, service prep. So what we're doing here now is we're going to so everything's been rescribed, everything's been resanded. Now, I do have something coming in the mail. Who knows when? Because they're very busy right now. I do have something in the mail coming for resin surface prep that I think is going to be super important. Now, usually when I'm not on camera, when I'm not on stream, I have certain things running to make sure that none of these particles are. Hey, Paul Chu has liked the stream. Thank you, Paul. Um, Usually I have stuff running in the background to make sure that I'm not sniffing this resin dust in, because this stuff is really bad for you. We joke about that. I like to sniff my resin, but that is the absolute last thing that anybody should be doing because it is very bad for you. It is very toxic. So usually I'm either sanding this in front of my spray booth, and then before I had this desk set up, I had a splitter on my spray booth to another um, blowout fan and tube that would be in front of me as I'm sanding. That thing would suck it out and it would go out the window. Clearly, so right now I don't have that setup done, and um, it being on stream, either the the paint booth is going to be too loud, I think. So I'm a little worried about that. So I need to kind of figure out a system here. Now there are alternative things that you can do, such as you can wet sand, and that'll keep all of the dust down. That'll keep all of the particles that on in the water, and that'll stop it going into your lungs, into your nose. Another thing is, which is coming in the mail, is Gun Primer's Void. It is a kind of almost like a desktop fan that sucks all of the dust particles in towards itself and away from you. It is very quiet. It is, the RPMs are actually quite high for how quiet the thing is, which I have no idea when that will be coming, but I'm hoping soon. But I definitely feel like I need that. So we'll see. For now, what I'll do is, I don't know how I'm gonna do this without having to. I might have to put a mask on. I might have to put my respirator on while I'm doing this, so that you might not be able to hear me. So I'll do the sanding and all that stuff, and then when every couple of minutes I'll take off the mask and I'll look at the chat. So we'll you know we'll do that. So anyway, let's catch up with the chat. William Mom says, "What about the Shin Mushu Gundam and design your own armor attachment and weapons?" William, that's a really good idea. The thing that uh, I'm kind of thinking about is, I don't want to buy a new kit. Like, I have like a pretty extensive backlog, which I am not proud of, and I kind of want to do something that I've had for a while, right? I kind of want to do something, something that's been sitting there and that needs some love. So we'll do, you know, I'll definitely throw some more ideas at you guys during the stream. So we'll figure that out. Kyle, aka Clueless Gunpla. Afternoon, everybody. What's up, Kyle? How you doing, man? Zach Black says, Chris, I have seen a product that is sold that sucks up the dust at your desk height. Trying to remember what it was called. Yes, that sounds like the Gun Primer Void, Zach. It's it is very so the thing that had initially stopped me from buying it is that it is very expensive. Um, it is very it's for what it is, it's very expensive, but it is, I feel like, something that I, as a as primarily a resin builder, I think I could definitely use. Especially now that I'm streaming on a regular basis and I'm streaming like resin kits that that I'm building. Um, it's definitely I think a tool that would be uh, like definitely would be used regularly. And then when I do get it in, I'll definitely review it for you guys, let you guys know how it is, how it works, what it's what the benefits are, obviously, and if it does what it says it does, because there are definitely some products that aren't as good as advertised. So yeah, so let's see. Gunpla Ronin says, "Hey guys, hey Pabz, what up, Z? I'm really happy you're here, man. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining us." Let's see here. Zach Black says, "Oh yeah, it might be that void. Yeah, I think it's the void. So that's the only one that I can think of that is a like a desk height. Well, not it's not a desk height. It's like a desk. What's the word for it? You place it on your desk. It's not a small product, but it's like a it's not like a massive vacuum. You know what I mean? Like a shop vac or something. It's not very loud. It's very quiet. It doesn't cause your desk to vibrate, which apparently, I mean, again, I don't have it here, but we'll get there. But yeah, so let's see here. Gunpla KZ says, Pabz, I need that void. You need to build something first to get a void. Build, man. How is that initial D build going? I know you and I believe is it Frankie? Frankie has something going. So so let me see here. Zach Black says, I have seen similar products for woodworking, etc. Zach, if you have if you know anything similar that doesn't cause your table to vibrate, it's not too loud where the mic can pick it up, man, let me know. Because it's nice, it's nice that the void is there, but if there are alternative products that work in the same way and you don't have the budget for because the void is like $230 or something like that. So if you know anything, man, let me know. Let's see here. William Whelm says that void looks like nothing more than a bathroom vent with a body cup. Am I wrong in thinking that? No, you're not wrong. So like I said, it's really important that you keep the resin dust away from you, right? And like I said, before upgrading the workbench, that's what I was using. I was using a separate well, it's over there somewhere. I had a separate blowout fan connected to a pipe that was connected to the paint booth that went out the window. The problem with the blowout fan is that it is very loud. Like it is, it's very loud. Kyle, aka Clues Gunpla says, crazy expensive too for dust collection. Yeah, I agree. So when they first announced that product, I thought, that's cool and something I would like to use because I work on resin primarily. But I didn't think when it came out, I didn't think it would be over $200. I think the price is definitely crazy. That's a crazy price for this thing, right? I think. Um, but yeah, once we get it in, we'll give it a good review. Not a good review, but we'll give it a good look, and we'll review this thing, and I will definitely tell you guys if I think this thing is worth it or not. And I'll be honest and all that stuff because I appreciate honesty when somebody reviews something, and I'll do the same. uh, Zach says, might be able to find something cheaper looking for woodworking. I mean, there has to be, right? I mean, again, I mean, a bathroom vent fan is a good alternative. Maybe not for streaming while you're streaming because it's very loud, but it's an alternative. I mean, if you're not streaming, technically you can use your paint booth. That's messy. Don't look at this part. But you can use your paint booth. I mean, for me, technically, you can just remove this filter right here, and turn on the paint booth and have your stuff all set up. And as you're sanding, just sand it there, and that'll blow away all of your stuff. So, Bang Cat, yep. Bang Cat, yep. Right. I'm hoping I said your name right. I'm really sorry, man. Gun primer stuff are kind of on the pricey side. It is very pricey. Some of this stuff is really cool. There's scribe guides. Definitely, I think were very popular when they first came out. But they were very pricey. They followed the trend with what was it, a gate remover thing, the razor, I think is what they called it. And obviously the void. So definitely on the pricier side. But I mean, I can't really form an opinion because I don't own any of their products. So once I get something in, I'll definitely let you guys know. Gunpla Ronin AKZ says it's also an air purifier though. I mean, I guess there's dual purpose in that, right? Zach Bly says, I mean, I feel like most gun primer stuff seems really high for what it is. Just my 2 cents. No, I mean, to a degree, I agree with you, right? Gun primer stuff is very pricey, as we've stated, and there are things out there in the market that do the same thing for less money. Now, I guess the argument would be, do those things, or does gum primer product make it easier than those things, even if the end result is the same? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Okay, enough talk. Let's see. I have to find my respirator, actually. It has been a good minute since I used it. Oh, there we go. All right. So I'm gonna put this on. We're gonna start, and then we'll do what we can. All right. This is not good. Like, I'm wearing a hat with the headphones. Like, I gotta take the headphones off, right? So let's do that real quick. Okay, so hopefully you guys can hear me, because this thing sucks, like in terms of audio. Also breathing, because it's very tight on the face. But anyway, so let's get started. So we're gonna start with like the flat surfaces, because I feel like that's probably the easiest, right? So we're gonna use a 600 grit sanding block, or some, I guess, acrylic sanding. What do you call it? Stick? I don't know. Let's start with that, and then I'll make our way up. So the main thing I'm trying to get rid of. Actually, let me take this off real quick. God. All right. So the main thing I'm trying to get rid of is, you aren't able to see it here, but do I have something I can point with this? There we go. Okay. Okay, so the main thing I'm trying to get rid of is zoom in. No, that's as much as I can zoom in. That's fine. Okay, so here we go. So there's an elevated part right here. So as this thing goes up, it kind of angles upwards. So there's a ramp right there, and that is not a good look. So we are going to try to sand that down, make sure this whole area is level, and then we'll continue that, and we'll make that look nice and smooth and shiny. So yeah. All right, let me catch up with this chat one more time before I start sanding. Let's see. Gunpla on AKZ says, agreed, Zach, and continues saying, the scribing needle is super expensive for a sewing needle in a mechanical pencil. I agree. And if you guys want a really good alternative, try to get the Hasegawa scribing tool, which is this guy right here. Really nice. I use this to kind of mark my my drilling points. I also use this to create round scribes. So when I'm kind of scribing around a circle or something where it's like a rounded scribe, this is very helpful to get that initial scribe. Then I go in with the chisels and yeah. So really good stuff. Very thin tip. It is also a rounded tip, so it's different from your BMCs and your Madworks and your Displays. So yeah. Okay. So Gunpla on AKZ says, did anyone else lose feed? I don't know. Am I back? Hopefully I haven't been talking to myself this whole time. Zach Bly says, for a second above it, good now though. Okay, good. Kyle, okay, Clueless Gunpla says, definitely not competitively priced considering the other options. No, definitely not. No. I think that's something, since I think, obviously things are being imported from South Korea, it is very, I guess that's very expensive. I don't know, but definitely not priced competitively. Kyle says, same Z. Zach White says, can hear you still with the mask? Yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me with that thing. Gunpla Ronin says, it's Doth. No. Gunpla Ronin says, Zach, this is a question for Zach. Do you have any discount codes? I'm about to place a huge order, actually. If you remember, the Gunpla Builders of Chicago has a Galactic Toys code. I believe it is Gunpla Chicago 10. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm not sure. And then G.U. Stemsky says, at Tech Smart Keys, thank you for making last night's show more entertaining. Well, are we not good enough for you, Julius? I see how it is, man. All right. I see how it is. All right, so let's put this mouse back on. Let's get to work, and then yeah. Okay. So you want to make sure that the sanding block is flat against the piece, and usually I just do one direction. And then looking at that, you can see kind of this part was lower than this area, and then you've got the corners and stuff like that. So there we go. Make sure everything's nice and even, and then you don't want to apply too much pressure because you don't want to lose that detail, right? So you can see right there, but I wish I could zoom in more, but whatever. So you can see right there, there's like a mold deficiency and some level issues right here. So this whole area needs work. But yeah, that's essentially it. You know? So the trick is the trick is the trick is you want to make sure that, I mean, you have to kind of be in the mindset and understanding that you're not gonna get all of the deficiencies in one go, right? Like there's always going to be an issue that you're going to come across as you when you do your initial prime. I'm going to take this off because this isn't. So you are going to encounter more issues as you prime this thing. So what you're trying to do right now is you're just trying to catch the biggest issues, right? And that will anything that pops out at you, and it's very difficult to see it in this color, whether it's your yellow resins, like stuff like this, or your white resins or your orange resins. It's always difficult to see those deficiencies until you add your first until you add your first your initial prime. Let's see here. Zero Kai says, "Sup, Pabz? What's up, Zero Kai?" Zero Kai then says, "When did discount Darth Vader show up on Pabz stream? The moment I put the mask on." And then Kyle says, "Pabz quote Darth Vader. Give me a quote. I can't think of any right now." And then I will. So I'll put this back on, and then we'll continue. Yeah, it sucks, man. And if you notice, I'm constantly sanding in one direction. I'm not going back and forth. I'm going in one direction, and that helps me keep everything nice and flat and even. I know for some people it's very easy to when you're sanding back and forth to just suddenly kind of change your angle and not realize it. Kyle, I am your father in the bigger. It's so hard to breathe in here, man. Okay, so this thing looks good as an initial sand. And then for what I'll do is I'll show you guys an example for this thing. So for this thing, so it's a mixture of both flat parts and a curve, and then so obviously what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using not bad. There we go. We'll use these infinity sanding sponges. I love these. I absolutely love these. So definitely, if you have an opportunity to get these, do it, because these are great. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the flat portion first. So these areas right here, and it looks like there's not a lot of issues with these ones. Kind of feeling it. It is very even and flat. Now another way to kind of do this also is if you are, God, let me take this up again. If you are adamant about going back and forth, but you don't want to lose that detail, what I do is I hold your sanding stick or your acrylic block kind of this way, and you were just pushing it back and forth with your, it would help if I was on screen. Yeah, and you kind of do it like this. It's very easy to keep everything nice and even as well. Again, I do end up kind of defaulting towards sanding in one direction, but if you really wanted to, go back and forth, then you can do it this way. Just make sure everything is nice and even though, because you don't want to warp this, the evenness of the piece. Let me catch up with you guys real quick. So I did the quote for William. There you go. I kind of caught the tail end of that. Kyle says, Pabz, are we working on the woundwork tonight? Yes. God, I've been talking so much. It's already been an hour. Yes. So there's not much to kind of do tonight since it's only an initial thing, right? It's only an initial kind of build. We're just I'm just gonna do the unboxing of it and maybe kind of snap some pieces out. Especially since Manny kind of jumped the gun, and he's literally jumped the gun. And he's already kind of started building his. So I don't know. Yes. No, I'm not really sure what kind of format we should do that in. Like, should we all be in a stream, or should I just do it on stream and you guys can follow me off stream? Like, I don't know. I had not completely thought that that through. So yeah, give me some ideas, and we'll go from there. Let me put this back on. So, God, I didn't get. I literally sanded one piece, like. I sanded one piece, man. We're already halfway through the show. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off now because I'm not sanding anymore apparently. And then we are gonna put the new away. And then what I'll do is, since I talked about the whole sanding thing, I'll do the sanding off camera, or should I do that off camera, or should I just? I don't know. So I might do the sanding off camera so that I can have the all of the stuff running so that the dust isn't going into my face until there is an alternative version. So yeah, let's put this away, and then I will show you guys something that came in the mail recently, and then we'll talk about the woundwork. Because I have words to say about that thing. Whether they're good or bad, you guys will just have to find out. But yeah, we'll get to that one in a minute. I dropped a piece. Okay. Let's see what Kyle, aka Buildoff, says. Up to you, honestly, if we have questions or if there are points of interest you want to cover. So I've had this one since what? I want to say October or November. I remember I had gotten the thing right before or just after I was hospitalized, I think, last year. So I did it. I mean, I did a quick inspection of it, and yeah. Well, I mean, we'll talk about that when I bring it up. Okay. So let us keep going with this stuff. God, come on. There you go. I think we should probably we could probably switch it up every now and then. So instead of just having me on the stream, we can have Kyle and Manny on, and we can give our opinions on whatever we're working on, right? Since this is kind of just an initial introduction to it, there's no need But I think I'll definitely talk to you and Manny when before a stream, and then we'll talk. Hopefully we can organize a way that we all three of us can be on stream together, but working on this thing. So I think that'd be cool, right? What do you guys think? Okay. So, it's kind of it's cool that Zach is here because he's very much responsible for this. But Zach Black is he works with who he works for Galactic Toys. Very cool guy. He kind of reached out to me. God, Zach, I don't remember how long it was. How long ago it was? I think it was last year or the year before. And he was very interested about picking up resin kits for to sell at Galactic Toys, um, which is which was really surprising to me because before then no Western store had ever been interested in supplying resin kits to us here. Like no one was interested, and that's it kind of sucked because our only resource was overseas, which would mean the shipping was expensive, and um, you know, if you didn't know the sources, uh, you wouldn't really have any other way of getting it apart from, hopefully you knew someone who knew all of how to get these resin kits, right? So whether it be Taobao or GKM or Masagan, um, those were pretty much the only resources, right? But so Zach reached out and he was interested in picking up resin kits. Which companies in demand or which ones are interesting and he really dove in and went head first into this whole resin thing and he's a little bit more uh, he's a little bit more he's a little bit more knowledgeable in terms of the business side of it now than even me. So that's really cool. A couple of weeks ago, almost a month ago now, I think a month and a half ago, they had the RG Nu conversion kit up and ready to sell, and you guys have seen the progress on that. And then recently, they did also get this guy in. If we open it now, it looks like the same box. And it is the same box. So this guy has the same box, but there is a different stick. There's a sticker on here that shows you what it is. And then this is the Madworks 1/100 scale Shining Gundam. Right? That is the the Shining Gundam. So same box. A whole bunch more parts than the new Gundam. So you guys can see lots of small parts. Very very detailed. Now this, if you guys don't know, this thing uses the MGRM Remastered Strike as a base kit. Uses that frame and changes it up into the Shining Gundam. So here's what it comes with. It comes with the resin pieces, right? Like lots of small pieces here. I am very afraid of these heat sinks right here. Do we focus right there? So these heat sinks look like they are going to be a pain in the butt to remove from the sprue. But really great detail, honestly. Like if I wish I could zoom in on this thing and show you guys. It's a little dark. But yeah, like there's like a lot of God, focus, man. There you go. There's a lot of detail on this piece right here. Heck of a lot of detail right there. So, very good stuff. And then it even comes with some clear hands. I forgot the name of this attack. If someone can remind me, that'd be great. But clear resin hands. I'm hoping that this fits very well. You've got like a little dome piece right there, which I believe is for the center of the chest. But yeah, so I mean, decent parts count. I haven't gotten to doing the parts count list yet, but it comes with two AW decals, which AW decals are kind of, how do you want to say? I don't want to say this. The details, are, and the quality is hit or miss, right? I'm not sure if they're the best. So all I'll say is go buy Mecha decals. Shining finger hand. Thank you, Zach. Yes, I believe so. And then here is the instructions. Maybe to move this a little bit to the left. And zoom. There you go. Okay, so Child Mecha Arcade Team says, bad. Are you talking about the AW decals? I said hit or miss. I'm trying to be nice, Tim. Yes. There are better alternatives out there. So please, if you can, these are great. It kind of sucks that it doesn't come with decals that are specifically to the Shining. So these are generic decals, and that's fine. But I'm used to a certain quality from resin companies, right? So for example, Extreme Squad use high Q decals, but also custom decals using the same company, I believe. You've got Infinite Dimension and their custom decals, and those are amazing. You've got Artisan Club, same thing. So yeah, you'll notice with AW decals that the film that they use, it seems very brittle, like very hard, and doesn't feel like it'll take a rounded surface very well, if that makes any sense. Like it's very rigid, I guess. I don't know, but anyway, I wanted to show you guys their instruction manual. So very nice manual, seriously. It says here, MadWorks focus on design and manufacturing modeling related products, from chisels to sanding sponges. We strove for perfection to bring you the best user experience possible. And thanks to your continued support, which allowed us to bring you our next product, a collaboration between MadWorks and a modeler from Taiwan, Mr. Snake. 1100 Shining Gundam Extreme Conversion Kit. Now you can upgrade from 1100 MG Shining Gundam. So you guys can see like some of the differences between the original MG Shining Gundam and then the conversion kit right here. Same with the back. So it's definitely taller. It's yeah. I mean, this is very nice, man. Like it's comparable to Extreme Squad's instructions, just on a smaller scale. So with Extreme Squads, it was slightly bigger. It was slightly bigger, and obviously the instructions were a little bit bigger too. So overall, not bad, right? I mean, it even gives you the color breakdown. So you've got Nazca NC009 Cobalt Violet, Mr. Color number 1 White, 95%, plus Aircraft Gray 5%, Mr. Color Red 2%, and then Mr. Color number 4 Yellow 98%. Like this is very nice. Again, gives you like a nice image of a Shining Gundam there, in not an open form. Then you've got the open form in the front with the shining hand. Is that right? Shining hand? I don't know. But yeah, very nice. We will be. I don't know if I'll be working on this thing on stream. I feel like I don't get anything done. Tim, I don't know how you do any work during streams. But I will be working on this soon. I was wondering if I should do this conversion kit and build it alongside the 1100 God Gundam by Model Bingo. So that's kind of an idea, right? Who knows? We'll see. Okay, so there's that. Sorry. Let's see. Ben Yap says, "Have you tried the Evo decal?" Now I do have one Evo conversion kit here, which is the Shadow, the GM Sniper Shadow. Is that an Evo? I don't know. I'm trying to remember, but I have that somewhere. I don't even know where it is. Um, and I do believe those come with Evo decals. I haven't tried them, but they do look decent. But I don't know what the quality is like. But in terms of the like the decal itself, they look okay. Okay, so just grab a drink real quick. All right. This bad boy. Zach Black says, guys, do you know what brands make UV lights? Small handheld size, 3 watt to 5 watt, 395 nanometers. That's a good question. I mean, I know you can just get a regular UV light on Amazon, right? Does it have to be like a specific size? Anyway, so Sticker Studio 1100 zoom out. Wound wart. First of all, like Age of Zeta, right? Is this is the serious one? Age of Zeta, right? Um, what a crazy ass design. Um, very crazy. And then if you guys watch Mechanisms last Friday, was it last Friday, Kyle? Or was it Brian's stream? I don't know, man. Everything's melding together at this point. I try to watch everyone to show support, but it's like, who am I watching now? Yeah, if you guys saw that, you saw Kyle kind of show the packaging off for this. It is amazing. So you got the sleeve right here. The back of the guy in front of the wound wart, right there. This is very obviously 3D. This is kind of the file that they use to 3D print this guy. And then you've got the bubble wrap, which in hindsight I should have taken off before the stream. And then here we go. So it comes in this nice little lunch box. So if you ever need a lunch box, just make sure you wash it first before you put any food in here. But what's really nice is, Stick to Studios do this a lot for the kits. Like they do this nice plastic packaging. Here is the one that came with Dynamiz. This one doesn't have any kind of markings or anything. It doesn't have the Stick to Studios or the orange thing. But this the wound wart and the 00 Quanta Night Deca Man, I think is what they called it. Uses the same case, which is really cool. I think really nice. But yeah, okay. So let's open it up. Yeah, it doesn't want to open. There you go. Just make sure it doesn't hit anything. You've got instructions. You've got screws. Why? You've got all the pieces itself, and then this is kind of what Kyle was showing you guys. What show, man? But this is the crown, right? Really cool. Very tiny. I'm not even gonna take it out, man. I'm not gonna take this out yet. I know the absolute moment I take this out, something is gonna snap. Definitely don't want to do that. Let's see. Zach Black says, well, it's for the UV light curing putty. Oh, okay. And that needs to be set in strength. Yeah, I believe they sell the 5 watt UV bulbs, not bulbs, UV lights on Amazon, right? I'm pretty sure they do. Tim, aka Charlie Michael, says every day is Saturday. It really, dude, it feels like every day is Sunday. Does that make sense? Yeah, and he says, Zach, there are UV light ones that are 5 watt on Amazon. William says, so this is a 3D printed kit over a molded resin kit. Wait, what? So this is a 3D printed kit over a molded resin. Wait, so hold on. I don't know if that makes sense, but essentially this was 3D printed, right? And then they made molds out of that 3D printed kit, and then, they made molds out of the 3D printed kit, and then and then they cost that and started selling it. So yeah, so you got the crown right there. And then let's get all of this out because this thing has I want to say a decent amount of parts. Let's see. Tim says, Charlie Mecca says, Alibaba has more than a few. Yep. Zach Wise says, just can't ship them EMS. And then, here you go. I missed something from Zach. Zach said, would like to be able to offer them myself for people who buy putty. I might end up buying them without a battery and sell them that way. I think buying them without a battery is your best option, man. It's very easy to get those types of batteries here. And it'll be a lot easier than telling people what UV light to buy, for sure. Okay, and then you've got like this very ominous black envelope in the back, which is plastic. It's in plastic, so they're just trying to get you to feel for the quality. Now, in terms of oh man, mine is broken. Sad times. Now, in terms of packaging quality, Stickler Studios are really good, right? I mean, this plastic case with all of the bubble wrap and this plastic thing, very good, very good. I think in terms of presentation, Land kind of have them beat. I love all this. This is great. I just think Land does it just a little bit better, I think. Okay, anyway. Alright, so let's look at these pieces real quick, because there's an abundance of them. And what's nice is everything is stapled together, and everything is in bags. Obviously, clearly in bags. You've got your clear pieces right here. You've got your joints, because this is a movable resin kit, which is a pain in the butt, but okay, sure. And then you've got all of your pieces right here. So you've got the butt right there. You've got, I believe this is a weapon. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Lots of stuff, man. Lots of stuff. What's nice is I do believe these are separated in categories. You've got the hands right here. Please zoom in and have it out. But hands right there. Very nice. Very small. I'm sure I will snap one of these at some point. Who knows which one? That's a toss-up. Like what? I forgot about these. So, yeah, that's great. A lot of pieces. A lot of pieces, and at least they're very well packaged. And then kind of upon close inspection, no, not close inspection, but kind of just as a brief look, quality is good. The lines are nice and sharp, like especially on this butt plate thing. I don't know what it's called. The butt plate. Nice casting. The lines are nice and sharp. They're nice and deep, which is very good. Like even on the circular piece right here, you can see. Oh, you can't see because I'm not. It's not on camera. You stupid idiot. There you go. I'm talking to myself. You can see right there. Nice casting. I don't think it's broken or anything. It doesn't look like it's broken. And then you've got like some quality right there. There you go. So some of the lines that you guys can see. So very good casting. I really like what they've done with this thing. And you know, as one of their first, I want to say, I think one of their first releases, they really kept the quality pretty high. So I believe it was the 1100 00 Quanta Deca Man Knight thing first, and then it was this wound wart. And then it was the Dynames, and then then it was the SD Zaku, and then the SD RX-78, and then it was the Dynames. So that's very cool. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the decals first. Actually, real quick, which I believe should be in here. Well, yes, they are. Is there anything else in here? Ah, yes, photo etch. Anything else? No. Okay, cool. Now we have photo etch parts. Okay, and then here's something that's that'll interest a lot of people, I guess. Here are the decals. Now, I do believe these are. I'm trying to remember if these are Evo decals or not. No, they are custom Stickler Studio decals. Very bright. Like these are not red decals, right? Like we're used to. Like these are a safety orange. Oops. A safety orange. Focus. There you go. Like it's almost like they're UV. No, what is it? Luminescent? Fluorescent? Fluorescent. Fluorescent decals. Very very bright. Now, if you guys don't like, don't like the Titans logos and stuff, or the size here, I do believe Simpro Models June does offer Titans decals, so you have options there. And obviously Tim has mecha decals you can use too if you guys want that. Now, it doesn't. I don't think they come in fluorescent orange, but just saying. Then let's take a look at these photo etch real quick. Oh god, there is a very small one right here that I didn't even see until I got the big ones out. Come on, buddy. There you go. Yeah, it's very tiny. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, let's look at the details on the rest of these. This one is just out, which is very strange. But let's see. Again, nice detail. Nice. I mean, numbered. Thank goodness. Yeah, I've come across a couple of photo etch sheets that are not numbered, and number your sheets, please. Yeah, great detail. I'll kind of go through painting these because for some reason I don't get a lot of I've never seen a lot of resources in terms of painting photo etch, right? I just use metal primer R by Mr. Color, and then applying a regular primer after that, and then whatever color I'm making these. But I'll go through that and kind of show you guys what I do. And then let's look through the instruction manual real quick. From memory, the Dynames conversion kit had a very nice instruction manual. I had nothing bad to say about it, so I'm sure this will be fine too. So let's take a look at it. One thing is, be prepared for this thing to break apart because I can already tell that the staple spine on this thing is gonna break. So it is it is what it is. Now I do know also that from what I remember, because it was a while back, the Dynamis also did not have English. But that's not. I don't think that was particularly necessary. But you can see how everything kind of goes together. You've got that crown right there, which is going to be nerve wracking to get out and paint and put together. Um, which this is good. So a lot of resin companies kind of, I feel, should take note of this. They show you various angles. So not only do they do a parts count, which is right here, very nice. But they do also, so they don't not only show you how it goes from the front, but they also show you how it goes from the back. That is a game changer. Because oh God, I wish I could show you guys, but one of the absolute worst, one of the absolute worst instruction manuals I've had the pleasure of trying to decipher, because it was in some stupid it was the Studio Maniac ZZ. The Studio Maniac ZZ's instruction manual is just absolutely ridiculously dumb. It shows you a picture of the piece put together, but it doesn't give you. It numbers what you can see in the photo, but doesn't show you what is happening on the other side, even if there is something going on the other side. Now, granted, there are some pieces that don't have that, but yeah, just bad. That's bad. Don't do that. Like, give me other angles. So this thing has other angles, and that's amazing. Okay. All right. So the head looks simple enough. A couple pieces. Now, I mean, looking at this, it looks pretty straightforward, right? And what's nice is, while the little details are separate, the big pieces are just big pieces, and that makes things a lot easier, especially when you're masking and all that fun stuff. You've got the crotch area. I don't know what this is a symbol for, but it's a symbol for something. I don't expect these things to go together very easily. It's either going to be ridiculously loose or something like that, and that's kind of par for the course, and that's fine. Oh, you know what? I missed this piece right here. So this looks like it's part of the hands. I kind of want to figure out what those screws are for, so that's kind of why I'm looking at the instruction manual. With the weapon right here. Okay. Additional gifts and accessories. I mean, so the gun is like a freebie, right? I don't know. Now they do show you where the photo etch parts go, which is great, because again, I've come across companies that don't do that. Number your etch parts and then show us where they go, because these are very specific. I mean, if they were just like regular, photo etch parts that give you additional detail, but not for specific parts, then that's fine. But if they are very clearly for specific shapes and things, then please number them. But yeah, this is nice. Good instruction manual. Very detailed, kind of. What would be nice if they numbered each piece, but that's Normally what you'd see is like what I showed you guys with the Madwork stuff is pieces are numbered, um, and then there's normally like a parts count sheet at the end of every or at the beginning of every instruction manual, and this thing does not have that. So that's one thing I can kind of strike that for, because what is one of the most important steps for me is doing a parts count, because if none of, if there's a part that's missing, that is when you'll notice it's missing. It's either going to be that, or you are going to notice it as you need it, and that is a very bad time. Um, so definitely, that definitely something I kind of wish they looked at more. But yeah, this is a very nice instruction book. Um, definitely, again, the different angles is a great touch, and something that not a lot of resin companies do. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Again, like from the bottom and the top, that's great. Why aren't other companies doing that? But yeah, so let's go ahead and open these up, shall we? Whoa. Well, we'll start with one of the larger bags, because I don't want to be losing small pieces anytime soon. And then what I'll do is I'll get this this butt plate out, because that thing is a very good example of how good of a cost Stickler Studios can be, and how lazy they got with the Dynam is, because 3D printed lines on that thing is insane. So here is that butt part that I showed you guys a little while ago, right? Let's see. Can we? Oh, no. Oh, it's thinking about it. There we go. Look at that. That is a great cost right there. Not bad. Seriously, not bad. I'm sure there are going to be some issues, which I already feel. Roughly around about here, it feels like there's an issue right here. There's like yeah, there's a couple issues here. Nothing major, at least not on this piece. You've got some mold deficiencies here. There we go. You got some mold deficiencies on the edge of this part right here, so that's gonna be a nice quick fix. You've got the underside. There you go. Got the underside right here. That is very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I like that. This is a butt. It's a butt. I mean, yeah, it's very good, man. One thing I do wish they did, which is what they did on that Dynam, was make this inner piece right here separate. It doesn't have to be like a bunch of small pieces, but something massive, like just that piece right there, and you're able to slot that in would be cool, because I'd love to add additional details to this thing, but that's going to be a pain in the butt to mask at the same time, which is fine. I mean, at this point we're all used to that, so very cool. Let's look at another piece. And this one is not actually, I mean, it's actually not as good as that first piece. You can actually see, if I focus, you can actually see. You can actually see some of the 3D printed lines on this one right here. Still not terrible. You can see right there kind of some deficiencies, and I do believe this is an inner piece, so that I guess it doesn't really matter. Um, but that's cool. It's very cool. Big parts. I love 1/100 scale. Let's get the rest of these out. I just dropped something, but I didn't. And here is kind of where that parts count thing would be really, really good. So, just grab a trick right here. And then Julius Dembski actually has another bloody question. That's my we have a question thing. Let's see, Pabz, do you have any recommendations on a conversion kit for an MG Zagok that is still available? Oof. Not currently. There was a Zagok conversion kit a couple of years ago. I don't remember who that was by, but that is not available anymore. Or either that or a recast is very hard to find, and obviously an original cast is even harder. Yeah, man. Right now there are no designers that are working on a Zagok, unfortunately. So, if you're just looking to detail it up, man, like I think you have. Everybody has the ability to do that. So, detail it up. All right, so here's that kind of where that parts count is important, because now I'm looking at these parts like, oh, hey, these are really cool, but are there any parts that are missing? How how many pieces of the same piece do I need per se? Like something, if there was a piece that's symmetrical and stuff like that. So that's kind of a blow to the overall thing, right? But overall, man, I mean, like in terms of quality, pretty good, pretty good. Now, color schemes for this thing is not quite sure yet. I mean, I could go for the original color scheme. It is a very simple color scheme. However, I've been holding on to this for a while. I don't know if I want to use this color yet. Which is the Mr. Color Exam Blue 1. So maybe I can make it this color, like an exam blue. Not a Titan blue, but an exam blue. I don't know yet. I don't know. But I've also just I am just about to complete a blue kit, which is the Sinanju. So I don't know if I'm gonna continue making a blue something. So I don't know. Maybe we'll stick with the original color scheme. Who knows? Maybe we'll add a lavender in there somewhere. You like that? I actually bought this color, which I haven't seen anywhere in a very long time. I bought this at an Animea out in Hawaii. Before they shut down. So I was there on my honeymoon, and we went to this place, and this was just staring at me. This was the last one, and I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. Why not? I'll pick that up. I haven't had anything to build with this color scheme, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Kyle says, yeah, no, that's a nice color you got there. Rushlam, aka Bill, says, howdy, Bill. Um, MacDio, Game Man, he says, no, I wanted to do lavender. You can do lavender if you want to, man. You know, I do have Gaia Notes lavender, which is one of my favorite colors, and then I also have the Virtual on Misa purple, which is um a slightly deeper color than the lavender. We're not gonna see that because it's white right now because it's been sitting. But yeah, Rushlam Makable says exam blue. Send some to Chris in Arizona. Yeah, I it's definitely a color I don't see often in stores. Like in at the stores here and stuff, I haven't seen it. I haven't actually looked. I've not looked in online or anything, but it's one I haven't seen. Let's see. Bill says, "Why not try something different? Like color wise, I wasn't thinking of painting this thing blue. I mean, the thought crossed my mind, and then I was like, well, I'm building something blue right now. Um, maybe not lavender, because Manny wants to do lavender. So we'll think about it. I mean, we have options. Definitely options. Um, who knows, right? Okay, so yeah, these are very nice. Okay. Rustam says, why not do a yellow and green or something? Because I'm not a fan of the Green Bay Packers. No, I. So with me, color schemes are very important, right? Like I feel like, um, if the colors don't complement each other, I don't think. So for me personally, I don't think yellow and green complement each other. Oh Lord, look at that! This thing is broken. I just noticed that. So that's gonna need some fixing. Wow. Yeah. So you can see how whooped it is. Here's the opposite side of it. So, ouch. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe something different, Bill. I don't know. Who knows? I haven't really thought about a color scheme yet. Bill, okay, Rustam says you are the only one who went Green Bay with those colors. I mean, I'm the only one on screen. um, I don't. Yeah, honestly, I don't know yet. Um, I I haven't thought of a color scheme yet, so it's just been kind of a just going through it and taking a look and seeing what we can build out or seeing how the build is, and then yeah, while we're going through this build along, I'll think about color scheme, and then yeah, we'll go from there. You know, I don't necessarily have to go for something different and unique every time. I do have favorite colors. I do have a color I have a preference of, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that either. So it could be something new. It could be um, something I typically go for. But I don't know. But I get what you're saying, though. Like I do understand. All right, so let's look through these pieces right here. Okay, so Bill, aka Ruslam says yellow and green absolutely are complementary colors. By definition, they are. Now, red and green are contrasting colors. It's called a color wheel. Only people who support the Packers wouldn't know that. So, Bill, I don't know if you know this, man, but I am a graphic designer by profession. I understand the color wheel. I also understand color theory. And when I say that green and yellow are not of a complementary color, it's not because I'm following the strict guidelines of a color wheel. I'm following color theory. So, yeah. All right, so just inspecting pieces. Let's just inspect the large pieces and then kind of go from there. So one issue we have currently is this broken piece, and that is, it's a shame, but that's fixable. You know, it is what it is. Then you also have this piece, which have a very thin. Just lift this up a little bit. It has a really thin film right here, and I'm not sure if that's part of the piece or if that's because the sprue is right here. Oh, again, not on screen. There you go. That's very thin, so I'm not sure how that's gonna go. That's not too bad. You've got this piece right here. Rushlom, aka Bill says, "Oh, only pulling a chain. We all know you are a man, you kind of guy." Yeah. I mean, so I only know the Green Bay color Packers because the Green Bay Packers colors. There you go. From that '70s show. I think it's from that. No, I don't remember. It was an American show that they were showing back in the UK, and I found out that that's what the colors were for the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Supersonics. I think. I don't know. But yeah. So back to inspecting these. And I know again, like a lot of this stuff is very monotonous, like me just looking at parts and stuff, but I feel like this is very, very necessary. So, yeah, because I kind of would like to know how much work I am about to put into any of these. So, from the looks of it, it looks like this guy goes in here at some point. It's either this way or it's probably this way because I'm an idiot. Yeah. And actually, you know what? No, they don't stay together. I was gonna say, actually, you know what? It feels like they're gonna stay together. They don't. Bill Rusham says, "I am just trying to pass the time till I can go home. Still at work. I'm sorry, Bill. Hopefully, time make hopefully watching this makes it go quicker. I don't. And you know what, man? You're not offending anybody. You know. I get what you're saying. I understand what you would just pull in my chain. Okay, so let's open up the rest of these and hope nothing else is as broken as that other piece. Because when you purchase these, usually you don't want things that are broken. That looks very distorted. That looks very distorted. That's not too bad. Okay. So some of these pieces, again, this thing is not good at focusing. It's this. Rushlami K. Bill says, I did manage to go to the hobby town before work. Excuse me. No living thinner, but managed to grab a lot of different Mr. Surfacer bottles and cans. Oh, that's good, man. Keep an eye out keep an eye out on USA Gundam Store. They'll be getting some of those back pretty soon. Mr. Labyrinth though. Okay, so this is not bad. And why am I not on freaking screen? There you go. There you go. So this is not too bad, right? That's fine. Nice and straight. I don't know if this thing is supposed to be bent or not. So that is not straight at all. We'll definitely have to look at the instruction manual and see what's up with this thing. It does look like these line up. So at least some of these bigger parts don't have that big of a distortion as that piece. It does have a slight distortion from here. Oops. Whoops. There you go. From here to here. Let's move this keyboard out of the way. There you go. So, and then you've got this big guy, which is very nice. Yes. Now, what I don't like is having a detail like this on here, but having like the sprue or the nub from their casting, from the casting pull right there. That is bad placement, because that means that when you cut this, there is a very decent chance that it'll take a chunk of this side and this side with it, and then you'll have to file this area down. And if that had just been somewhere like right here, that would have made a lot more sense. So it's just extra work that I don't think is particularly necessary. But it's just part of the process. So overall, not bad. There's also this piece, which looks fine. Nothing to write home about. But these are these are definitely some of the more bigger pieces. Very nice, very cool. These little screw bits are actually quite detailed. I don't know if you guys can see, but you've got like you've got the line going through it, and then you've got like two thicker scribe lines on each side, and yeah, they're very nicely casted and molded. So very good. Yeah, that's great. Cool. Okay, so I think at this point, I need to start kind of planning what to do here, because I'm not building this alone, right? I'm building this with Kyle and Manny. And I know he said it was Kyle said it was up to me, so I think it's a good idea that if we can, let's schedule a couple of streams where you guys are here, and we'll kind of build together. We'll bounce ideas off each other, kind of the issues, our opinions on this thing. I think that would be a good idea. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm sure I can. We'll use StreamYard, and we'll get all of that sorted out. And then in terms of like the build process on this thing, I'm like, with the amount of work, not particularly for this thing, but just for me in general, I might have to build some of this off screen and then just explain what I did. During the stream, I've kind of hindered myself a little bit, since I only stream once a week. So I'll definitely have to kind of build this off screen, or just up my stream. How much I stream a week, which sounds, I don't know. Like I don't know if I have time to stream. But yeah, so I might have to I might have to build some of this off screen and then just kind of explain what what the progress is every now and then. Um, but yeah, I think that's I think costing wise, excellent. Not perfect because I don't think I've encountered a perfect. Oh, well, that's not true. Extreme Squad, Barbatos, Lupus. Um, it's not perfect. I still think Extreme Squad have them beat in terms of costing quality, but very good quality. This big butt piece alone, I think, is a testament of the quality that they are able to do. And yeah, definitely, definitely looking forward to building this thing. Definitely looking forward to how this is gonna come together. Um, and yeah, and Kyle and Manny. Yeah, I'll send you guys a message and we'll figure out a good day, like a good point, um, on when we should start comparing and contrasting kind of the issues that we've all encountered. So let me know when you guys are available. And yeah, I think that's a good place for me to kind of end there. Let's put a cap on this thing because um, not only is it almost time, I also feel like I've done absolutely nothing this stream. Like I got the RG Nu out and then I sanded one piece and then it had already been an hour and then I got this thing out and inspected a couple of pieces and it's been an hour. Um, yeah, so let's catch up with the chat real quick. Bill like here Ruslam says, yeah, I grabbed like 3 spray cans of 500, two of 1200. Also got 2 balls of use in airbrush of 500, 1000, 1200, and 1500. That's awesome, dude. He continues and says, I managed to snag the lost MG Zaku Warrior, MG Jester, and 172 scale Rogue Squadron X-Wing they had in stock. William Williams says, damn, Bill got in some early Christmas shopping. He yeah, very smart to do that. Kyle, aka Clueless Gunpla Builder says, yeah, I'm go for that. I'm used to figure resin that hasn't had. I'm used to figure resin. Oh, I'm used to figure resin like resin figures that hasn't had many issues. Yeah, so the big difference being resin figures have a lot of curves and natural curvature and these things are very highly angled and yeah, that's kind of like a different challenge in itself. um, and then Bill says yes, it would also be interesting to hear if all the kits had the same issues or not. Yes, I agree. Let's definitely, I think that's a good idea. Let's all let's all sort out a day and we'll get that down. Manny McDeo says I'm free on weekends, bro. Yeah, that's excellent. So since I stream on Saturdays, that's fine. Um, Text Marquise, is that a sloth emoji? I have painted my SD. Just saying. Kyle says these metal etch pots are gonna be fun. Yeah, they are, man. They look really cool. Definitely happy that they're numbered and that the numbers are on their instruction manual. So that's a good sign because like I said, there are companies that don't do that, and I don't understand why they don't do that. Gunpla Ronin, aka Z says, later all, have a great night. Good night, Z. Thank you for joining me, man. I'll send you a message later, and I'll catch up. What? Hold on. Text Monkey says, I don't know, man. It says chill with dog. What? What? How? Where? How is that a dog? It looks like a sloth from here. I don't know. It's a cat sleeping. Mm. Well. Okay. Anyway. So, with that, I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I know I didn't get anything done. I need to hopefully once once we get the ball rolling on a lot of these projects, it's just go. We're not just unpacking things and looking at them. because that's not fun to watch, and I understand. So we'll definitely hopefully we can hit the ground running very soon, and then we'll definitely talk. I'll talk to Kyle and Manny, and we'll figure out a date to kind of have like a almost like a group meeting in the middle of a project to see where each of us are at and what our opinions are currently of each one, and then we'll choose another date further on from that, and kind of like a benchmark, and then see if our opinions have changed, if any new issues have arisen, um, or stuff like that. So I think that's a good idea. And then I've also been playing with the idea of doing like a critique stream, where since I do a lot of talking in these streams anyway, maybe I can have like a bunch of people submit their builds somewhere, and I can give my opinion on them. I guess I don't know if my opinion is valued in that way, but I think it'd be a cool idea. Not maybe not a critiquing episode, an idea episode. I believe is what we had mentioned before. So an idea episode. Let me switch over to the face and watch that transition again. Bam, baby. Whew. But yeah, uh, definitely, definitely an idea, something I want to do. So let me know if you guys are interested in doing that as well. I think that'd be fun. Um, just to kind of see cool builds and give my opinion on them. So yeah, let me just catch up real quick with the chat here. Um, Let me see. Tex Marquis says, "You look like a sloth." Man, no, I don't. Uh, Zach Bly says, "Have a good night, Chris. You have a good night, Zach. Thank you again, man. Thank you for everything." Um, Rushnov says, "Hey Tex, are you going to stream this week?" Tex replies with, "Depends on if my gal pals want to do a Zoom de Mayo girls night. They keep picking Tuesday/Thursdays. Sounds like they know what you're doing and they're trying to stop you from doing it." But yeah, so yeah, just want to say thank you guys again for joining me. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your Saturday and Sunday. Um, I will see you all again on Mechanism, hopefully on Friday. And I'll definitely see you guys back here, hopefully working on stuff and not just talking and looking at things next Saturday, 7 Central, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. Oh, that was hard. Um, and yeah, we'll definitely get more of this done very soon. We'll have the SD Sinanju done, maybe not the Neo Zeong, but we'll have the SD Sinanju done. We'll have some stuff working. We'll have stuff going. We'll definitely get the ball rolling on everything we've been talking about here. So with that, hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you guys